Did you know the last performance on this stage became legendary? This powerful image captures Elvis during one of his final live shows, held at the Providence Civic Center on May 23, 1977. While the full concert was a spectacular demonstration of his enduring voice, critics noted his increasing fatigue. This was the second-to-last night of a short tour leg, just weeks before his final, tragic run. This photograph serves as a poignant, mesmerizing reminder of the King's commitment to his fans until the very end. Imagine the sheer electricity in the air before Elvis even arrived. This photo shows the mounting excitement outside the Olympia Theater in Miami on August 3, 1956, moments before Elvis pulled up in his eye-catching lavender Lincoln. This stop was crucial, marking the beginning of a key series of performances that solidified his national fame. The Olympia shows were so raucous that he was soon dubbed Elvis the Pelvis. The scene truly captures the dawn of rock and roll hysteria in America. What was on the mind of the king of rock and roll just before his biggest transition? Taken at Graceland on June 9, 1958, this photo captures a moment of quiet reflection for Elvis. He was only weeks away from shipping out to Germany for his army service, an event that put his soaring career on a temporary halt. Despite the uncertainty, his military service helped cement his image as a respectable American icon. This rare glimpse of Elvis at home shows the man behind the music. See the star power, even in uniform? This fascinating shot shows 23-year-old Elvis on a 2-week leave from the U.S. Army in 1958, having just completed basic training at Fort Hood, Texas. His brief return home was a major media event, with news outlets eagerly following his every move. Despite being a soldier, his star quality was undeniable. Elvis fully embraced his military duties, a decision that earned him widespread public admiration and respect across America. This is a glimpse into the making of one of Elvis's most complex roles. Captured on the set of King Creole near Lake Pontchartrain, New Orleans, this production still features Elvis in 1958. Originally intended for James Dean, the role of Danny Fisher was a dramatic departure from Elvis's earlier, lighter films. Director Michael Curtiz was initially skeptical, but later praised Elvis's natural acting ability. Many fans and critics consider King Creole to be the King's finest cinematic achievement. The moment that launched 1,000 dreams and changed Hollywood forever. This image represents Elvis signing his first major movie contract with Paramount Pictures in April 1956. This deal, negotiated by Colonel Tom Parker, secured Elvis a multi-picture contract, officially launching his film career. The studio quickly set to work developing his first film, Love Me Tender. This singular agreement shifted Elvis's path from purely music to becoming a global multimedia superstar. Witness the intensity of a rising star. This backstage photo, taken in a New York studio in 1956, captures Elvis in a rare moment of focus between takes. That year was monumental, featuring his first album and his first appearances on The Ed Sullivan Show. He was navigating the rapid, often stressful transition from regional star to national sensation. This picture perfectly encapsulates the powerful charisma and raw energy that captivated millions and defined a generation. An iconic movie moment, but the location is a great Hollywood trick. This classic scene photo from the 1967 musical film Clambake shows Elvis at a vintage gas station. Although the film is set in sunny Miami, this particular segment was actually shot at a real-life service station in Los Angeles. Movie magic allowed them to convincingly swap coasts. The film was commercially successful, reinforcing Elvis's image as the perennial, charming leading man in fun, colorful productions. The King's Chariot, a symbol of his incredible success. When you think of Elvis, a pink Cadillac instantly comes to mind. His deep love affair with the brand began in 1955 when he purchased his first one, a Fleetwood Series 60 Special sedan. He famously gifted countless Cadillacs to family, friends, and even strangers throughout his life. This enduring connection made the luxury car an inseparable part of his glamorous, iconic persona and the American dream. A gathering of automotive legends at a custom car haven. Pictured here are Shirley Barris, George Barris, Les Tompkins, and Bud Kunz at Barris Custom City in Los Angeles around June 1967. George Barris was the celebrated customizer responsible for designing the Batmobile and several of Elvis's personal vehicles, including the legendary customized Cadillacs. This photo celebrates the intersection of Hollywood, car culture, and the King's taste for unique, show-stopping rides. A picture of pure rock star luxury. Here, Elvis poses proudly with his sleek 1960 Cadillac Fleetwood Series 75 limousine at the Ascot Park Raceway in Gardena, California, in February 1966. Elvis frequently customized his vehicles to fit his extravagant taste and need for privacy. This massive, top-of-the-line car was perfect for transporting his entourage, the Memphis Mafia. It serves as a fantastic example of the lavish lifestyle the King enjoyed at the height of his fame. The business of rock and roll was always buzzing, even over a meal. This candid shot shows Elvis, Bill Williams, Colonel Tom Parker, and staff gathered at the Chicken House restaurant in Houston, Texas on June 13, 1956. This date fell right in the middle of Elvis's intense early touring schedule. These meetings were crucial for planning shows, contracts, and managing his rapidly expanding empire. The photo offers a rare glimpse into the team that orchestrated the rise of the King. A moment of pure, global fan hysteria in the Great White North. Elvis is captured here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, performing at Maple Leaf Gardens on April 2, 1957. This concert was part of his very first tour in Canada, which caused a sensation and further proved his international appeal. The excitement was so intense that Canadian authorities attempted to regulate his performances, highlighting the controversial and overwhelming nature of his stage presence. The simple joy of fandom in a simpler time. This delightful photo from the South Carolina State Fair Midway in 1956 shows a woman standing in front of a booth selling Elvis Presley posters. In this pivotal year, Elvis's image was becoming ubiquitous, appearing on everything from records to dolls. Fairgrounds like this one were often the first place young people encountered the merchandise, fueling the new teen culture and confirming Elvis's status as a commercial phenomenon. A superstar connecting with his loyal fans right in his neighborhood. This classic shot from around 1956 captures Elvis interacting with fans from his Cadillac near his Memphis home, either on Audubon Drive or later at Graceland. Fans often gathered near his residence hoping for a sighting. Elvis, known for his genuine affection, often indulged them with a wave or a brief interaction. This established an early tradition of his remarkable closeness with his dedicated followers. This single image perfectly embodies the youthful, raw energy of a legend being born. Taken in 1956, a pivotal year in his career, this photograph captures Elvis in his prime. This was the year he released his debut album, made his first national TV appearances, and signed his first movie deal. He became an overnight sensation, defined by his signature sideburns, smoldering gaze, and groundbreaking blend of musical styles that ultimately launched a global revolution. A sweet, candid look at a cherished relationship. Pictured here is Anita Wood in 1957, who was Elvis's girlfriend during a significant period of his early career. Anita was often by his side during his rapid ascent to fame and throughout his time in the Army. She provided a stabilizing presence in his hectic life before he met Priscilla. This photo serves as a warm reminder of the important personal connections he maintained despite his world-shaking stardom. A look at the professional man returning to his calling. Taken on November 6, 1960, this image shows a sharp, focused Elvis shortly after his return from military service in Germany. His 2-year absence was a gamble, but he returned more popular than ever, immediately launching back into film and recording projects. This photo captures the transition of Elvis from a controversial young rebel into a more polished and mature international superstar. The contract that officially launched the King's career. This photo highlights a crucial early moment on November 6, 1954, when Elvis's parents, Vernon and Gladys, signed a 1-year contract for him to appear on the Louisiana Hayride radio show. Because Elvis was under 21, his parents had to legally sign for him. This show provided the critical exposure that helped Elvis transition from a regional curiosity to a national recording artist. A glimpse behind the scenes of one of his later charming films. This production still from November 6, 1968, features Elvis on the set of The Trouble with Girls. This musical film, released in 1969, co-starred Marlon Mason and Cherie North. It was set at a Chautauqua-like traveling educational institution. Although Elvis was simultaneously preparing for his legendary '68 comeback special, he maintained his professional commitment to his film contracts. Captured during a period of intense artistic reawakening, this thoughtful photo of Elvis, taken in November 1968, finds him on the cusp of a major career transformation. He was preparing for his iconic '68 comeback special, which would shock the world and re-establish him as a dominant live performer. This image shows the focus and quiet confidence of an artist preparing to reclaim his crown after years spent in Hollywood. Elvis taking on a comedic Western role with a twist. This production still is from the 1968 film Stay Away, Joe. Elvis played Joe Lightcloud, a half-Navajo rodeo star in this raucous comedy. The movie was a change of pace, offering a lighthearted, comedic setting. This film is a good example of the various genres Elvis tackled during his extensive, busy career in Hollywood, always managing to blend music with a fun storyline. A rare moment of Hollywood veterans and the King collaborating. This photo captures Elvis on the set of the 1968 Western comedy film Stay Away, Joe, which co-starred screen legends Burgess Meredith and Katie Jurado. Working alongside such established actors gave the film a unique dramatic grounding. Despite being a box office success, Elvis often voiced a desire for more challenging, serious dramatic roles than the musical comedies he typically filmed. Double the Elvis, double the fun. This production, still from November 6, 1963, captures the set of the 1964 musical comedy Kissin' Cousins. The film famously featured Elvis in a dual role, a handsome Air Force lieutenant and his simple mountain-dwelling cousin. Co-starring Yvonne Craig, the film was a typical example of his upbeat, scenic musicals that were incredibly popular with his global fan base during the mid-60s. The stylish star of Hollywood's musical era. This photo of Elvis, taken in 1964, shows him at the height of his movie career. The mid-60s were defined by a relentless schedule of filming lighthearted, colorful musical comedies. While the music and plots varied, Elvis's charismatic screen presence remained the constant draw. This image captures the polished look and unmistakable star quality that made him the world's highest-paid actor at the time. A glimpse into the fun and adventure of a classic musical film. This production still is from the 1963 film It Happened at the World's Fair. The movie was filmed partly on location at the actual Seattle World's Fair. Elvis's character, Mike Edwards, attempts to raise money for his struggling crop dusting business. The film is known for its energetic musical numbers and charming interaction with a young co-star, offering a delightful look at the early 1960s. Focused and professional. In the midst of his film career, this image of Elvis from 1962 reflects his serious commitment to his work during his prolific Hollywood period. After returning from the Army, he transitioned into a busy schedule of producing 3 films per year. While critics debated the cinematic merit, these movies were huge commercial successes worldwide, keeping Elvis's image constant and popular across the globe. The making of one of Elvis's more dramatic roles. This classic photo is a scene from the 1962 musical drama Kid Galahad. Elvis played a young man who becomes a champion boxer. The movie co-starred heavy hitters like Charles Bronson, Joan O'Brien, and Gig Young. This dramatic subject matter allowed Elvis to stretch his acting abilities beyond simple musical comedy, proving he was capable of a compelling, powerful performance. A playful moment between co-stars on set. Elvis is seen here with actress Marlon Mason during the filming of The Trouble with Girls. The two actors had a great working relationship while filming the 1969 musical. Despite the studio's demand for light-hearted films, Elvis used his time on set to prepare for the career-defining live concerts that would soon follow. This picture captures the professional, friendly atmosphere of a typical Elvis movie set. A truly electrifying, unforgettable moment in Canadian history. This powerful image captures Elvis during his 1957 concert in Toronto, Canada. The tour caused immense public excitement, proving his international appeal outside the US and solidifying his global superstar status. The reaction to his movements was so dramatic that authorities were often on edge. This photo is a perfect testament to the magnetic stage presence that made him the king. The king sets sail for paradise. This photo marks a significant journey on November 5, 1957, as Elvis sailed to Honolulu, Hawaii, aboard the USS Matsonia. This was one of his early trips to the islands, which would later become one of his favorite places. Hawaii holds a special place in his legacy, serving as the setting for 3 of his movies and the site of his historic 1973 Aloha from Hawaii concert. A professional pairing on a Hollywood set. Elvis is pictured here with actress Marlon Mason, who co-starred with him in the 1969 film The Trouble with Girls. Mason was an accomplished Broadway and film actress. Their collaboration highlights how Elvis worked alongside numerous talented performers throughout his prolific movie career. This image captures the relaxed, friendly working environment he often maintained on set. Laughter and camaraderie behind the scenes of a fun-filled film. Elvis is captured here with his co-stars Gary Crosby, Jimmy Hawkins, and Jodie Baker on the set of the 1965 musical Girl Happy. Set during spring break in Fort Lauderdale, the film was a breezy, colorful romp. Elvis, known for his good humor, often created a playful atmosphere on set, ensuring his colleagues and crew enjoyed the demanding schedule of movie production. The ultimate definition of a rebellious, iconic movie star. This is a publicity photo for the 1957 film Jailhouse Rock. It showcases Elvis's powerful, dramatic persona. The title song and its accompanying dance scene are regarded as one of the most famous musical numbers in cinema history. This image perfectly captures the raw, youthful rebellion that defined the early phase of his electrifying career. A dramatic moment with a talented co-star. Elvis is pictured here with actress Lola Albright, sharing a scene from the 1962 musical drama Kid Galahad. Albright played a key supporting role. Their on-screen chemistry contributed to the film's success. It is a fantastic example of the quality ensemble casts that worked with Elvis, elevating the film's dramatic weight and making it a memorable entry in his filmography. The royal wedding of rock and roll history. This image commemorates the marriage of Elvis and Priscilla Beaulieu on May 1, 1967, at the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas. The ceremony was a private, intimate affair, followed by a massive, high-profile reception. Their wedding was a major cultural event, uniting the king of rock and roll with his longtime love. This photo is a timeless symbol of their union and the beginning of a new chapter. A charming co-star from a whimsical adventure. Elvis is shown with Annette Day, who starred alongside him in the 1967 film Double Trouble. Annette played a young heiress who gets involved in a European mystery with Elvis's character. She was a fresh, talented face in Hollywood. This photo highlights the lighthearted, fun-loving tone that characterized many of Elvis's popular mid-60s musical films. A pair of professionals sharing the spotlight. This photo features Elvis with actress Cherie North, who co-starred in his 1969 film The Trouble with Girls. North was a seasoned Broadway and film veteran known for her dramatic talent. Her professionalism was a good match for Elvis's easygoing nature on set. This image captures the collaboration of two skilled performers in a late-career film production. The start of production for a boxing drama. This photo marks the beginning of principal photography for Elvis's 10th film, Kid Galahad, in 1961. This film was a departure from pure comedy, offering a more serious role as a young man who becomes a champion fighter. The cast and crew were excited to start filming a story that allowed Elvis a little more dramatic range. A scene from a high-energy, memorable film. This photo captures Elvis in a scene from his 1962 musical film. Though the specific title is not given, it showcases the high production values of his post-Army movies. The focus is on his charismatic performance. These films were meticulously crafted to provide fans with entertaining storylines and plenty of opportunities to see the king sing his latest hits. An intimate moment during his military service abroad. Elvis is pictured here with Margit Bjørgen while he was stationed in Germany in 1958. Despite the formality of military life, Elvis often spent his free time socializing and enjoying the local culture. Margit was one of the many people he befriended during his time overseas, demonstrating his ease in making connections even far from home. Behind the scenes of a fun post-Army film. Elvis is captured here with actress Juliette Prowse on the set of his 1960 film G.I. Blues. This was his first film after returning from the Army, which cleverly leveraged his military experience into a charming musical comedy. Prowse was an internationally acclaimed dancer and actress, and their chemistry made the movie an immediate massive box office success. A moment of professional focus on a bustling film set. This image captures Elvis either backstage or during the filming of his 1967 musical film, Easy Come, Easy Go. Elvis played a Navy diver in this adventure-filled movie. The demanding pace of producing 3 films per year required the king to maintain a high level of concentration and commitment during long shooting days. The moment the king reclaimed his crown. This powerful image is from the iconic 1968 NBC TV special, widely known as the Comeback Special. This performance marked his triumphant return to live performing after years of making movies. Dressed in his iconic black leather suit, Elvis delivered a raw, energetic show that reminded the world of his incredible musical power, setting the stage for his Las Vegas residency. A playful scene from a fun, light-hearted adventure. Elvis is captured here with his co-star Jocelyn Lane from the 1965 film Tickle Me. Lane played a love interest in this musical comedy, which involved a ranch, a gold mine, and plenty of singing. Their easy on-screen chemistry helped make the film a commercial success, cementing Elvis's reputation as a cheerful, reliable box office draw. A key moment from a sun-drenched musical comedy. This photo is a scene from the 1965 American musical comedy film Tickle Me, which co-starred Jocelyn Lane and Julie Adams. The film's lighthearted plot and colorful setting were typical of Elvis's mid-60s movie outfit. This image captures the fun and appealing atmosphere that fans loved, providing a perfect escape at the cinema. The double-roll filming continued for a fan favorite. This image represents the continued production of the 1964 film Kissin' Cousins. The film, starring Elvis in dual roles, was a major commitment that required careful planning on set. The cast, including Yvonne Cragg, Arthur O'Connell, and Cynthia Pepper, worked hard to bring the mountain comedy to life, resulting in another huge commercial hit. A future screen legend sharing the frame with the king. This unique photo shows a young Charles Bronson working alongside Elvis on the set of the 1962 film Kid Galahad. Bronson played a supporting role as a boxer. Working with such established actors was a fantastic experience for Elvis. This picture is a fun historical moment, showing two major Hollywood figures early in their careers together. A moment of service on a cold German day. This image captures Elvis during his military service in Germany on November 3, 1958. Despite being a global superstar, he served just like any other soldier, earning him respect worldwide. He took his duty seriously, adapting to military life away from the spotlight. This photo reminds us of the time he paused his career to serve his country. Looking stylish and prepared for a major voyage. This photo of Elvis, taken on November 3, 1957, captures him just before his trip to Honolulu, Hawaii, aboard the USS Matsonia. His travels were always major news events, drawing huge crowds. He looks sharp and ready for the adventure ahead, foreshadowing his later deep connection with the Hawaiian Islands. The king's commitment to charity and community. This photo marks a memorable moment on November 3, 1954, when Elvis participated in a blood drive charity event at Memphis State University. Even as a young rising star, Elvis used his fame to support important causes. This act of community service demonstrates his compassionate side and desire to give back to his hometown of Memphis. A dramatic scene from a fun Western comedy. This production still from the 1968 film Stay Away Joe captures a moment of Elvis's character, Joe Lightcloud, in action. The film was set on a Navajo reservation and featured Elvis in a comedic, action-packed role. This unique setting allowed for a different type of movie, broadening the range of his filmography. A family visit on a bustling Hollywood set. Elvis is pictured here on the set of The Trouble with Girls, posing with his co-star Marlon Mason and her mother. It was a common occurrence for family members and friends to visit Elvis on the set, highlighting his friendly and welcoming nature. This photo captures a warm, personal moment amidst the demanding schedule of film production. Behind the scenes of an underwater adventure. This photo captures Elvis on the set of the 1967 film Easy Come, Easy Go. He played a Navy diver seeking buried treasure. Scenes often required complicated underwater filming, making it one of his more physically demanding roles. This image gives a quick look at the hard work that went into bringing his movie adventures to life. A true soldier, enduring field conditions like everyone else. This image captures Elvis and his Company C arriving in Grafenwehr, Bavaria, near the Czech border in 1958. Despite his star status, Elvis was required to endure the same rigorous field training and conditions as all other soldiers. This dedication to his duty was highly respected, further establishing his admirable public image. Shopping for the king's iconic look. This photo marks an interesting detail on November 2, 1970, when Elvis visited the Beverly Hills Optique Boutique. He picked up customized goggles, several non-prescription glasses, and 2 solid gold frames. This highlights Elvis's famous love for unique, custom-made eyewear, which became an inseparable part of his legendary, dramatic stage persona in the 70s. A sea of faces captivated by the king. This stunning image captures Elvis performing in Canada at Maple Leaf Gardens in 1957. The sheer volume of the crowd and their ecstatic reaction underscore his powerful, immediate global appeal. These Canadian shows cemented his status as an international star, proving his magnetic stage presence transcended borders and language. A charming co-star from a World's Fair romp. Elvis is pictured here with actress Vicky Tew on the set of the 1963 film It Happened at the World's Fair. Tew played a young orphan who attaches herself to Elvis's character. Their delightful interaction formed a heartwarming subplot. This photo captures the friendly dynamic that made his film relationships so appealing to audiences worldwide. Planning the next big screen adventure. This photo marks a script meeting for the film Kid Galahad at Hidden Lodge, Idlewild, California, on November 2, 1961. These meetings were crucial for finalizing the script, music, and production details. Elvis was dedicated to making the best film possible, showcasing his active involvement in the creative process of his movie projects. The early days of a phenomenon in his beloved hometown. This photo captures Elvis performing at a show in Tupelo, Mississippi, his birthplace. These early concerts were foundational to his career, showcasing his unique sound and style to regional audiences. This image is a historic reminder of the raw talent and magnetic charisma that were already fully present before he achieved global superstardom. A powerful, dramatic pairing in a serious role. Elvis is captured here with actress Tuesday Weld on the set of the 1961 film Wild in the Country. This role was one of Elvis's attempts at a more serious, dramatic performance. Weld was a highly respected actress, and their professional collaboration resulted in a film that allowed the King to showcase his acting talent beyond pure musical comedy. The King in a defining dramatic role. This candid photo captures Elvis on the set of his 1958 film King Creole. Many consider this his best acting performance, where he played the troubled high school student Danny Fisher. This image is a tribute to his dedication to the character and the complex film noir-style atmosphere that made King Creole a cinematic classic. A late career film where Elvis embraced a new subject. This image captures Elvis on the set of his 1969 film Change of Habit. In this film, he played a doctor working in a low-income community, dealing with serious social issues. The film was a conscious effort to move beyond the musical comedies of the mid-60s, reflecting Elvis's desire for more challenging and meaningful roles. A classic shot from a cinematic effort to be more dramatic. This photo is from Elvis's 10th film, Kid Galahad, released in 1962. The story focused on boxing and drama, a change of pace for the King. It allowed him to display a more physical performance. This image captures the polished look and commitment to the role that defined his highly successful movie career. A true soldier, enduring field conditions like everyone else. This image captures Elvis and his company C arriving in Grafenwehr, Bavaria, near the Czech border in 1958. Despite his star status, Elvis was required to endure the same rigorous field training and conditions as all other soldiers. This dedication to his duty was highly respected, further establishing his admirable public image. An iconic image of a legendary return. This photo is from the famous 1968 NBC TV special. Dressed in the iconic black leather suit, Elvis delivered a raw, intimate performance that stunned the world and re-established his credibility as a dominant musical force. The special was a massive commercial and critical success, proving that the King was back and ready to dominate the music world again. A private moment during his time serving his country. This photo of Elvis was taken in Germany in 1958 during his military service. He is seen here in a rare moment away from the strict military environment. Despite being stationed far from home, he maintained a positive attitude and connected with the local people, always demonstrating his magnetic, universal charm. The King travels in true secret agent style. This photo marks a fascinating event on November 1, 1971, when Elvis flew to Washington, D.C. to visit Joyce Bova. He checked into the Hotel Washington under the pseudonym John Burroughs. Elvis often used this alias to maintain privacy during personal trips, reflecting his need for anonymity despite his unparalleled fame. A moment of rest before the next big phase. This photo marks the date of November 1, 1970, when Elvis spent a final, relaxing weekend in Palm Springs. Palm Springs was a favorite retreat, offering a quiet escape from the constant pressure of touring and recording. This image captures a moment of peace and reflection for the king before he launched back into his intense schedule. A scene from a popular Western comedy. This production still is from the 1968 film Stay Away Joe, co-starring Quentin Dean, Burgess Meredith, and Katie Hirado. The film was a comedic Western that offered Elvis a chance to engage in physical comedy. The unique setting and talented cast made this a memorable, light-hearted entry in his filmography. Elvis takes on a unique, memorable character role. This photo captures Elvis as Joe Lightcloud, a Native American Indian rodeo rider who returns to his Navajo reservation to assist his community. He romances a local woman played by Quentin Dean. The film aimed to be a fun, rollicking comedy, showcasing Elvis's range in handling diverse character roles in his movie career. A dual-role performance in a mountain setting. This photo is a scene. A dual-role performance in a mountain setting. This photo is a scene from the 1964 musical comedy film Kissin' Cousins, where Elvis starred in 2 roles. The film, co-starring Yvonne Craig, Arthur O'Connell, and Cynthia Pepper, used the beautiful mountain scenery for its setting. This picture is a great example of the highly popular, entertaining films Elvis made in the mid-60s. A crucial recording session that shaped his early sound. This image highlights the significant recording sessions Elvis held at radio recorders in Hollywood from September 1st through 3rd, 1956. These sessions produced 12 tracks for his second album and further refined his revolutionary sound. This studio time was essential in blending his rockabilly roots with the polished sound of national records. The moment Elvis crafted his second album's sound. This image represents his first time recording at the famous radio recorders in Hollywood from September 1st through 3rd, 1956. This was a dedicated studio session for RCA Records, where he produced a key collection of 12 tracks. This period was pivotal in establishing the musical direction of his early career, solidifying his status as a hit-making artist. The King, the pioneer of the modern concert spectacle. This image represents Elvis's transformative impact on live performance, particularly his Las Vegas residencies. He pioneered the grand theatrical stage shows, blending music, dazzling fashion, and overwhelming charisma. His innovation redefined entertainment in the city, setting the high bar for the grand concert spectacles that modern superstars follow today. A late career performance in one of his signature jumpsuits. This photo captures Elvis performing at the Ector Country Coliseum in Odessa, Texas on May 30, 1976. He is wearing the famous V-neck suit. Even in his later years, his stage presence was magnetic, and his jumpsuits had become an iconic symbol of his powerful king of rock and roll persona. The unparalleled genius of his musical fusion. This image represents Elvis's artistic root, his genius ability to seamlessly blend diverse musical traditions, country, blues, gospel, and R&B. This incredible fusion created a sound that was absolutely new and electrifying. His innovative approach to music shattered cultural boundaries and established the very foundation of rock and roll, the beginning of a historic, complex romance. This image signifies the start of Elvis's famous relationship with Priscilla Beaulieu, whom he met in Germany in 1959 while serving in the military. Despite their significant age difference, they formed an intense, lasting bond. Their story, beginning in the quiet setting of Germany, eventually became a major part of his public life and legacy. The king arrived precisely when the world was ready for change. This image represents Elvis's explosive rise to fame, which occurred at a key cultural crossroads in the 1950s and 1960s. During a time of growing financial prosperity and social change in American society, his music and rebellious style were the perfect catalyst, giving voice to a new, energized generation seeking something completely new. A moment frozen in time, the king at his absolute global peak. This image represents the Aloha from Hawaii via satellite concert in 1973. It was a globally televised event where millions watched Elvis perform his most spectacular show. Dressed in the iconic American Eagle jumpsuit, the king gave a flawless performance, cementing this as one of the most significant and unforgettable moments in music history. A candid insight into the mind of a superstar at his peak. This image represents a 1957 interview in Philadelphia, where Elvis shared a raw, revealing perspective on his career. At the height of his early fame, he discussed the pressures and the joy of his intense popularity. These rare, honest moments offered fans a genuine look at the man behind the global phenomenon. A symbol of his powerful, definitive musical return. This image is a potent representation of Elvis in 1968, the year of his major career resurgence. Having spent years in Hollywood, he was determined to prove his musical relevance. This photo captures the focused energy that fueled his iconic '68 comeback special, a performance that shocked critics and thrilled millions of fans worldwide. The simple duty of a citizen superstar. This photo marks the time in 1956 when Elvis exercised his first opportunity to vote, casting his ballot for Democratic candidate Adlai Stevenson. Even as his fame was exploding, he maintained his commitment to civic duty. This moment highlights the private citizen behind the public persona participating in the democratic process. The king of rock and roll, refusing to use a stunt double. This image captures the energy on the set of Roustabout on March 11, 1964, just before a fight scene. Elvis, a worldwide icon, insisted on performing his own stunts, declining the use of a double. His dedication to authenticity and his love for action made him a thrill to watch, both on-screen and off. The poignant beginning of his final tour run. This photo marks the start of Elvis Presley's final concert tour, which began on June 17, 1977, in Springfield, Missouri, at the Hammond Student Center. Despite clear signs of declining health, the king continued to give his all to his loyal audiences. This tour is a profound reminder of his commitment to performance until his very last days. A personal tragedy that profoundly affected the king. This image represents the summer of 1958, a period of immense personal loss for Elvis, marked by the passing of his beloved mother, Gladys. Her death shattered him and was a defining moment of sorrow from which he never fully recovered. This period fundamentally changed him, adding a deep layer of complexity to his public and private life. A tender, timeless moment of family love. This delightful photo captures a young Elvis standing beside his mother, Gladys, in the backyard of their new home in Memphis on July 4, 1956. This was a period of immense joy and prosperity for the family. This image is a touching testament to the incredibly strong bond he shared with his mother, which guided his life and career. Millions worldwide witnessing a historic performance. This image captures the electrifying atmosphere of the Aloha from Hawaii via satellite night in 1973. Millions across the globe tuned in, breathless, as Elvis stepped into the dazzling Honolulu spotlight. This was a monumental achievement in television and music, showcasing his unparalleled showmanship and cementing his status as the world's first true global superstar. a tropical escape at a crucial time. This photo signifies Elvis and Priscilla Presley's trip to Hawaii in 1969. The islands were a favorite retreat for Elvis, offering a sanctuary from his intense career. This vacation came right before his legendary return to the stage in Las Vegas, serving as a peaceful break before he dramatically reclaimed his title as the King. The profound and powerful final curtain call. This image represents the filming of what would become Elvis Presley's final televised performance in June 1977. Despite visible struggles, the King delivered a performance fueled by pure heart and legendary willpower. This footage is a poignant, unforgettable record of an icon who gave everything he had to his music and his millions of devoted fans. The classic contrast between rock and roll and tradition. This image represents an evening in the 1950s when an opera singer approached Elvis backstage after a concert. The traditional artist questioned Elvis's unconventional style. His polite yet confident response highlighted the revolutionary nature of rock and roll, showing how his music was a powerful, necessary shift in the cultural landscape. The very beginning of a musical revolution. This image represents the scorching July afternoon in 1954 when a nervous young truck driver named Elvis Presley stepped into Sun Studio in Memphis. This was the moment he recorded That's All Right, an accidental masterpiece that marked the birth of rock and roll and immediately changed the course of music history forever. A rare, reflective portrait of the star at his peak. This thoughtful photo of Elvis, taken in 1958, captures him during a pivotal year of his life. It was a time of immense personal change, marked by the death of his mother and his entry into the U.S. Army. This portrait shows a star balancing massive fame with deep personal responsibility. Memphis rolls out the red carpet for their returning king. This image captures the joyous, massive celebration in March 1960 when Elvis returned home from Germany after his military service. Crowds filled the streets, welcoming him back with immense fanfare, including a massive, symbolic guitar-shaped cake. The reception cemented his status as a beloved American hero and a cultural icon. A legendary friendship built on music and mutual respect. This photo represents the deep affection blues legend B.B. King often expressed for his friend Elvis Presley. King frequently spoke about Elvis's early exposure to black artists' music and his genuine love for the blues. This image symbolizes the respectful, shared musical journey between two foundational figures in American music history. The night the new king paid tribute to the original. This image represents Elvis's triumphant 1969 return to the stage in Las Vegas. The performance was so spectacular that it left rock royalty, including Mick Jagger, completely in awe. Elvis proved he was still the ultimate live performer, solidifying his ability to command an audience with pure, raw power. The King in one of his most unique, detailed jumpsuits. This photo captures Elvis wearing the elaborate batwing suit or long fringe jumpsuit. He wore this distinctive outfit only once on stage in Los Angeles on November 14, 1970. The photo session was to promote his current tour, cementing this spectacular costume as a rare, legendary piece of his stage wardrobe. A lifelong friendship rooted in shared passion and loyalty. This photo features Elvis Presley with his longtime friend and confidant, Gene Smith. Smith was a key member of the Memphis Mafia, Elvis's loyal inner circle. Their friendship dated back to his early days in Memphis. This image highlights the trust and personal connection Elvis valued amidst his world-changing fame. A distinct look from his intense touring schedule. This photo shows Elvis wearing his unique stage costume, known as the totem pole or chicken bone suit.
This distinct vest and shirt ensemble was used during his high-energy tour in July 1975. This image represents his constant evolution of stage wear, always finding new ways to captivate his audiences with dramatic, powerful costumes.
The classic footwear of an early rock and roll rebel. This image features the specific shoes Elvis wore on stage countless times during the mid-50s, including his early shows in Tupelo. These were often custom, two-tone designs that contributed to his distinctive, rebellious look. This simple photo is a testament to the iconic style choices that helped define the dawn of rock and roll fashion.